Family and friends, welcome back as we delve into a new series, Human Behavior. Today we talk about envy. Why start there? Well, for starters, a cumulative study on human behavior has showed that 90% of the population can be classified into four basic personality types: optimistic, pessimistic, trusting, and envious. Of the four types, envious happens to be the most common, with 30% compared to 20% for each of the other groups. Why does human nature emphasize more on this one particular behavior? What sets it apart and makes it so special? Let's begin with the meaning of envy. Envy, according to the Google Dictionary, is a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. A word that can also closely describe this feeling is jealousy. See, from the beginning of human history, this behavior has been recorded. The story of Cain and Abel is the most classic, as it was recorded as the first of such sin. Abel was the sheep herder and Cain a farmer. Both sons to Adam and Eve, the first of all humankind. Cain inherited the farm from Adam, his father, because he was the firstborn. Now, with no established cultural reasons behind this, no law, no apparent biases other than age, Abel became the first human being to envy or become jealous of his brother Cain. Why should he be privileged or have more opportunity than me? I can imagine that was his question of envy. To this day, with 7.5 billion of us on the planet, envy thrives more than ever in every facet of society. If you truly pay attention, it is the driving force behind the status quo and the biggest motivation for doing wrong to others. The reason for treason, if you will, or the cause for broken laws. In the case of Cain and Abel, it was certainly so. It was so powerful, the sensation, that it drove Abel to kill his brother Cain, his mother's favorite, as he was her firstborn, and the pride of his father for being the same. How raw and powerful those emotions and ultimate behavior for Abel must have been. They were the first of everything, as the story goes. The pressure to act must have been as intense as any reason to go to war since. Think about it, all they were missing was their own armies. If you look closely, envy is at the root of many conflicts. It's all about wanting more, being more, doing more than our fellow humans. A goal that has become a human trait set since Adam and Eve disobeyed God in the Garden of Eden. Now you may sit there and say, well, Coach AB, I don't have that problem. And I would tell you that everyone, to some extent, is plagued with the life-draining concept of envy. See, we have no choice, really. We are born into a world consumed by it. To participate in today's society is to want the finer things in life. The concept of school and work are based on it. It's an internal gauge that is set by constantly comparing our lives to others. It is so common that we hide it behind words like ambition and success. What ambition and success am I talking about? Well, the ones that drive us to collect material things. A big house, the fanciest car, the best clothes and shoes, the best paying job and career. Now, these in many cases, are all from an attitude of envy. Now, don't get me wrong. Not everyone who accomplished these things, the epitome of society, think this way. Those whose success is driven by passion and their only self-reward is the increasing ability to help others or better the world they live in by what they do. They don't care about the money or the extravagant house, the car, the clothes, etc. These simply become a result of their main goals, not the main goal. Some of the most successful, in my opinion, came from this list. Jesus, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Einstein, to name a few. When it comes to Googling their net worth at the time of their death, for example, these names are the very last you would think of. Yet we can easily say they were among the most ambitious and successful. Yes, there is a difference, a very eye-opening one. It's all about what drives us to spend the time we have on earth doing the things we do. The why, family and friends, in many cases, is driven by envy. In some cases, like Abel's, to the extreme. The extreme being decimation of self or others or country in the pursuit of lust and greed. Envy's biggest motivators. And this is where the concept of love thy neighbor became 4 of God's 10 commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. The same reason envy is on the list of the 7 deadliest sins. In today's society, it is easy to fall into this perception of sin. We are taught this behavior by family, friends, and school. The workplace and even church can be places we allow envy to be promoted. Now, with the advent of social media, movies, and television, we are constantly bombarded with examples that encourage our own actions to become envious of those in our environments. Family and friends, there is nothing wrong in wanting the finer things, as long as they originate from a genuine passion for said thing, and not a result of wanting to be like the Rockefellers. History has shown us that never fulfills the soul, because the things that do, like time spent with family, deep into personal relationships and helping others, have no measure or equal. They are unique to every individual's experience. Besides, when we die, we can't take any of these material things with us. But envy doesn't stop at material possessions, does it? The most damaging kind is that of love of family, deep into personal relationships, and philanthropy. This type of envy eats away at the essence of one's soul if left unchecked, for they are the things money can't buy. It is also the reason why people indulge in money and things, to compensate for it. A sad reality for many. Family and friends, a good life will always consist of a balance between working to live and living to work, striving to have no attachment to things, and while being passionate about what you do without the motivation of envy. The question is never why others have what you don't, which is the essence of envy. The question is, how can your existence be meaningful and contribute to the human experience? The saddest effect of envy is having the best of life and still not be happy because of a want to have more than your neighbor. The only way to avoid being this way is by having your priorities clear and irrespective of other wants and haves. To answer this, you must know yourself and at least arrive to a reason for your existence. Last but not least, love what you do to the extent that you would do it just to put a smile on your own face, let alone others. With that said, family and friends, envy is very much the human behavior of grand circumstance. We are each born with the ability to control it. However, it requires self-discipline and a relationship with God that prepares us for life after death. Because it is only then that you truly realize that everyone is on their own path. They come into this world alone, and they will leave this world alone. No amount of envy can change that fact. Stay tuned for my next episode in the series, Having a Trusting Personality. Until then, family and friends, as always, may you have a meaningful and purposeful week. God bless.